Alright, 25, iron versus steel gauge metal. Unless contrary appears the word. Alright, iron versus steel and gauge of metal. Unless otherwise contrary appears the word iron whenever is used indicates as steel, vice versa, except as otherwise provided with the reference made with the gauge of metal, it means the U.S. standard gauge. All right, 227, loading and unloading. Section 1, owners are required to load into and on cars, freight, and forward by railway cars into unloaded from cars, freight, received with the railway cars carried by the carrying load rates, except for the tariff of the carrier at the point of the original destination and stopover station, as this case may be, provides for loading and unloading and carrying load freight by carrier. Section 2, owners are required to load into and carries heavier bulk freight for forwarding by rail carriers and to unload from cars heavy bulk freight received rail carriers carry to quantity rates which cannot be handled by regular station employees at stations where carriers loading and unloading facilities are not sufficient for unloading. Section 3. Shippers must comply with the carrier's rule for regulating safe loading, freight, and protection of the equipment. To see note 1, weight loading must be approximately the same on each side of the car. Van containers, trailers, or other vehicles, freights, or closed cars equipped with other plug-type doors must be so loaded to prevent any contact with car doors in transit. Cars equipped with the plug-type doors loaded with cylindrical items such as roller papers or drums require door protection unless specifically exempted by applicable commodity pamphlets. The weight of the load of one truck must not be exceed approximately one-half the load limit weight stenciled on the car. When the shipper is responsible for loading both initial and intermediate shipper cars, vans, containers, trailers, and other vehicles which are compatible loading at more than one point must comply with the regulations referred to above. Intermediate receivers of cars, vans, containers, trailers, or other vehicles must reload the level manner with a level manner brace or rebrace if necessary to prevent damage from the remaining portion of the landing destined to subsequent receiver. Note 1. All non-use securement devices must be returned to and stored in the same car from which removed, and the devices must be secured. Section 4. When articles are loaded on open cars, small detachable parts must be removed and placed in barrels or boxes secured with an article. Barrels and boxes must be encircled at the ends into iron straps securely attached to the article of the floor of the car. Such barrels or boxes must be specified in shipping orders and bill of ladings. Fragile parts must be not detached, must be protected. Section 5. To complete unloading, consignor must remove all landing unless otherwise provided by applicable rail tariff, non-railroad owned dunnage, blocking, bracing, strapping, any other non-railroad owned materials that was part of the inbound shipment, and secure interior requirements. See notes 2 to Rule 27 continued on the next page. Note 2. The closed car consignor is required to return the secure same car railroad owned securement devices to remove, complete, unload, secure lock, and all bulkhead doors. Return wooden doors used in transportation, bulk, grain products. Close all top hatches, bottoms, outlets, and exterior doors. Open cars. Consignor is required to return the secure of the same car with all railroad-owned securement devices. Remove the complete unloading, store change, ratchets, tents, and devices, other appurtenances, and appropriate facilities. Close all bottom outlets. Section 6. An interest in promoting car efficiency. Certain exemptions may be allowed under Section 3, Note 1, and Section 5, Note 2, provided that said exemptions will not disrupt the uniform continuity desire for the effect carrier mutually approved. In those instances, request exemption will be made in letter form of serving carrier citing the exemption desired and circumstances for relief. Relief must be approved only by the carrier whose car is affected. In those instances, exemptions approval of the carrier must have a file copy letter of approval in the following locations. 1. Local agent's office, office of the chief of the transportation officer, Association of American Railroad Transportation Division does not apply for the account of the NYA. Rule 28, application of certain words and phrases, commodity, and description. Aluminum alloy, unless it contains appear with the word aluminum whenever they includes the also aluminum alloy. Magnesium metal alloy, unless it contrary appears with the term of the magnesium metal, which includes all magnesium metal alloy. Metal oil alloys, niobium, unless contrary appear with the metals niobium appear with includes all metal alloys not specifically provided. Synthetic plastics, unless contrary appears, the word plastic or plastics refer to synthetic gums. Synthetic resins include coal tar, petroleum resin, cellulose, protein, derivative plastic materials are made therefrom. May have may have fillers. Fillers for plastics refer to organic, inorganic material defined and divided in fibers from ground coped pulverized used to produce the desired electrical physical reinforcement property of the plastic materials and articles. Rubber. Unless contrary appear for the word rubber when used in an artificial gallal, natural neoprene, synthetic rubber does not include foamed or urethane, foam, polyurethane. Zinc alloy, unless contrary appears the word zinc, includes zinc alloys. Alright, Rule 29. Shipments requiring 2 or more open cars and long bulk articles on one car. Provisions or rule will not apply for account of the north-south bulk. Section 1, carry a load. Shipment requires the account length of the except for the provided number 1 and 2 or more open cars. Minimum weight to be charged with the series of the car shall determine its valve subject aggregated actual authorized estimated weight and is greater. If articles and articles shipped are subject to Rule 34 with the minimum weight prescribed for the longest car, you add each additional car either 24,000 pounds or minimum weight prescribed for such additional car, whichever is lower, being further provided for the articles of such lengths as could have been loaded on cars or length ordered, and the minimum weight of such cars will apply. If the articles are shipped and not subject to Rule 34, to take a minimum weight prescribed in a single car, added 24,000 pounds for each additional car. A series of cars shall be determined with the number of the car over the continuous load extended. For the note, no series shall consist of more than 4 cars. If more than 4 cars or even additional cars shall be considered as new series. If any car is series, you protect the loading and of the cars and cars same the consignor with a destination, but in the same series it should be used the computing a minimum weight only for series in which it is included. Note 1. Provisions of the rules are applicable to shipments utilizing idler cars for safe transportation, protecting landing. Section 2. Shippers shall be responsible for the installation. Consignors shall be responsible for the removal of all spacing, blocking shipments requiring use of more than one car, in which a draft gear slack must be eliminated by using spacing blocks in accordance with the AAR general rules governing loading commodities. Open top cars. Bill landing must contain the following notation: space blocking installed between the car number and blank for consignor to remove. Note, the term dunnage does not include exclusion that have straw dust and shaving and shredded paper with the straw of the packing cushions or pad with similar packaged material. Selection 1A, except otherwise provided with the tariff to carry the point of the origin transition station, as the case for the maybe temporary blocking floor lining, corrugated fiber, plywood separate dividers, strand separate stakes, strip stakes, similar bracing support, herein referred to as dunnage. Note, the constituting of the part of the car required to protect and make carload freight secure for a shipment must be furnished and installed with the shipper at his expense. Except otherwise provided with the tariff carrier of the point of the origin transit station, as the case may be bulkheaded partition, temporary door protection when required to make carload freight secure shipment may be furnished and installed by the shipper at his expense. No allowances will be made of the weight of dunnage except provided in Section 2 and 3. Transportation charges dunnage when made shall be rate applicable to freight which is accompanied with the 2 or more commodities are included in one shipment. And the different rates apply. Charge for the dunnage, if any, shall be the rate applicable to the lowest rate commodity in the shipment. Alright, Rule 30, dunnage, see notes 1 and 2, closed cars. Section 2, as except as provided in paragraph C, allowing for the actual weight, but not except for the 2,000 pounds will make the dunnage and use the closed cars in which such materials are required for safe transportation in loading the carload freight, and provided that in no cases shall be the established minimum carload weight be charged. See note 2. When 2 or more carload shipments are loaded in one car, allowance of the actual weight not in excess of 2,000 pounds of dunnage and closed cars will be made on such cars for the purpose of specifying the weight of the dunnage. It may be divided equally in between the 2 or more carload shipments. No allowance will be made in dunnage due to the connection with the bulk freight in closed cars. Note 2. When more than one car is furnished under the provisions of Rule 24, allowance of actual weight is not to exceed 2,000 pounds will be made of the dunnage used. Each car loaded as heavily loaded. Conditions will permit when each car is loaded charge actually authorized estimated weight subject to be established in carload weight, except the only allowance for the actual weight not in excess of 2,000 pounds will be made in the dunnage used in one of the cars, so the load of the car containing the excess such allowance actual weight not in excess of 2,000 pounds may be divided between the so loaded with a car containing excess. Open cars. Section 3. An allowance of actual weight, but not in excess of 2,000 pounds per car, will be made, dunnage used in flat and gondola cars. Such materials are required safe transportation carload freight, provided with no case shall less than the established carload weight be charged. When more than one car is furnished with under the provisions of Rule 22, allowance for the actual weight, but not less than not excessive of 2,000 pounds, will made of dunnage used each for the car, including carrying with excess. Each car except the car carrying the excess must be loaded as heavily loading conditions will permit. Each for the car so loaded must be charged actual authorized estimated weight subject established carload minimum weight. Weight and dunnage should be specified. Section 4. No allowance for the dunnage used in and on closed or open cars will be made unless the shipper specifies total actual weight and dunnage of the shipping order and billing of landing. Alright, application only when the articles show the classification exemption, but thereto the tariffs are thereby subject to the rules by specific reference of the number thereby to the letter R. Shipment in closed car. Section 1. When the articles are loaded with the closed car 40 feet by 7 inches left in length, have a capacity not exceeding 4,150 cubic feet, shall be charged a minimum of car loading weight specified therein in separate description of the article. Such articles are loaded with the closed car with about over 40 feet and 7 inches length, with the cars having the capacity of exceeding 4,150 cubic feet. Minimum of car load weight must be charged as is provided in Section 3. See the Note 1. Weight excess of the minimum weight provided with the rule must be charged for. Note 1. Closed cars exceeding 40 feet 7 inches but not exceeding 41 foot 6 inches or not exceeding the 4,150 cubic capacity will subject to the minimum weights prescribed for the cars not exceeding 40 foot 7 inches in length. Section 2. The shipper's orders closed cars not less than 40 feet in length and in specified length. The cubicle capacity carriers unable to furnish the car with the furnished car subject greater minimum carload weight. Minimum weight shall be fixed for the car order provided with the shipments could have loaded into the car capacity size order a shipment certifying the bill of landing indicating below. Otherwise, minimum weight shall be fixed with the car furnished. Shippers must certify the following bill loading. Shipments can be loaded in the car capacity or size order notation made by the agent and bill loading weigh bill car blank feet in length and by cubic feet capacity ordered in shipper car blank feet in length by cubic feet capacity are carried in Rule 34 Uniform Freight Classification. Note 2. An order over the car 40 feet in length, it will be constructed as an order over the car any length of the 40 feet or up to 40 foot and 7 inches inclusive of the wheel. When shipping an order with the closed car over 40 foot 7 inches in length, specified with the cubic capacity except for the 4,150 cubic feet, carrier is able to furnish for the car in size order large car under the two cars will be furnished under the following conditions. See Note 5 of the rule. One of the cars of the car subject with the greater minimum car load weight will be loading singly with this shall be charged with the actual estimated weight that is subject to the minimum. The weight is fixed for the such car with the remaining shipment if loaded with the other cars shall be charged with the actual estimated weight car load rate, but not in case of such shall total with the weight charged for the two cars to be less than the minimum weight fixed for the can order. Car order. Notation must be made in agent bill loading weighting car blank feet in length by cubic feet capacity ordered and shipped and blank cars by blank feet in length by blank cubic feet capacity and blank feet in length by blank cubic feet capacity furnished under Rule 34 Uniform Classification. Or Section 3. Table showing the carload weights applicable to the articles made subject to the Rule 34. Closed car exceeding 40 feet and 7 inches in length and cars having capacity exceeding 4,150 cubic feet. See the notes 3 and 4, 3 and 6. Show the length of the closed car, minimum weight over the classification except for thereby applicable tariff that is shipped 10,000 pounds not less, 1,100 pounds not less, 1,200 pounds not less, 1,300 pounds not less, 1,400 pounds not less, 15,000 pounds not less, 16,000 pounds not less, 40 foot 7 and less length, 40 foot 7 length, not over 52 and 1/8 inch long, not exceeding 5,300 cubic, or exceeding 5,300 cubic feet. Cars over 52 and 8 inches, not exceeding 50 to 61 foot long. Capacity not exceeding 660 cubic feet. Capacity exceeding 6,600 cubic feet, and cars over 61 feet in length. Same thing, 18,000 pounds, 20,000 pounds, 22,000 pounds, 24,000 pounds, 26,000 pounds, 28,000 pounds, 30,000 pounds, 36,000 pounds, 40,000 pounds, 40 foot and 7 inches, 40 foot and 7 inches, 52 and 1/8 cars over 61 foot long. The carload minimum weight provided with the shown on the base weight with the section 3A of the articles are subject to 34, where the minimum carload weight is as follows: notes 3 and 4, length of the car over the cubic feet basis for the determination weight. Examples of 1,700 pounds of weight, minimum carload weight. Continued. Note 3. When the shipper orders the specified length of the cubical capacity within including a minimum maximum length of cubical capacity for when the same minimum carload weight is provided. Section 3. Furnishing the carrier over the car with any length of the cubic capacity between including such minimum maximum length cubical capacity will be the fulfillment shipment order car clothes longer than 40 foot 7 inches or longer than 4,150 cubic feet capacity used in shippers without placing order cars over the other specified size. Section 4. If a closed car is over 40 foot 7 inches with a length of over 4,150 cubic feet, the capacity used for the shipping loading article the subject of Rule 4 without previous order have been placed and shippers will carry the specified size minimum weight shall be fixed for a car used. Alright, Section 5. When such articles are loaded and open with a 41 foot 6 inches or left length, they shall be in charge of the carload weight for the specified, but therefore separate description of articles. Such articles are loaded with the open cars of over 41 foot 6 inches or length with the minimum carload weights will not be charged as provided in Section 8. Weights except for the minimum weight provided with the rules must be charged for. Section 6. If the carrier is unable to furnish an open car with the length of the order furnished a longer car, minimum weight shall be fixed for the car furnished except for the articles of such length that could have been loaded on the car length of the order. Minimum weight shall be fixed for the car load. Notation must be made with the agent bill of landing and the weigh bill. The car blank feet length ordered shipped car blank feet length of the furnished for the carrier under the Rule 34 of the uniform classification. When the shipper orders open car for 36 feet or 6 feet in length with over 36 foot and 6 feet in length, the car is unable to furnish for the car with the desired length of the longer car. The two cars will be furnished under the following conditions. See Note 5 of this rule. Open one of the cars is longer than the two differential term, but the subject of the differential minimum carload weights will load singly with a singly charged actually estimated weight subject minimum weight fixed for such car length. Remainder shipment length loaded in or other cars shall be charged for the actual estimated weight of the carload rate, but in no case the total weight charged for the two cars will be less than the minimum weight fixed for the car ordered, except for the article of the such length that could have been loaded on the load car length. The order charge will not exceed minimum carload weight applicable for the car length of the ordered with the actual estimated weight, except that such a minimum and actual estimated weight will apply. In furnishing more than one car lieu with a single car ordered, or finishing more than two cars in lieu with the two cars ordered for open car freight, the articles loaded on flat gondola cars are such continuous the recess on the two more loaded one car extended over the other cars and other cars. A shipment will be charged as follows. The weight of one car shall provide with the minimum carload weight article with the articles constituting the shipment for every additional car with a series of the weight which shall exceed 24,000 pounds. Actual authorized estimated weight to be charged for which exceeds the weight determined specified being further provided with the articles in such length as could have been loaded on or cars. The length of the order change will not be in excess of the minimum carload weight weight as appreciable with the size of the cars ordered with the actual estimated weight in excess of such minimum to in which the actual estimated weight will apply. When two or more shorter cars are furnished in place of the car or cars ordered, the following notation must be made with the agent bill of landing weigh bill. Cars are cars foot in length ordered and shipped by the blank car's foot by blank foot and inches in length and furnished with the cars in Rules 34 on a uniform classification. Open car longer than 41 foot 6 inches if the shipped without placing order of the car specified in length. Alright, Section 7. If an open car over 41 foot and 6 inches of the length of the ship of the loading article subject to the Rule 34 with a previous order having been placed by the ship of the carrier with the car specified length, minimum weight shall be fixed for the car use. Section 8. Table show that the car loading weights are applicable to the articles made subject to the Rule 34 and the open car. See Notes 4 and 6. Alright, it goes 10,000 pounds, 11,000 pounds, 12,000 pounds, 13,000 pounds, 14,000 pounds, 15,000 pounds, and 16,000 pounds. 41 foot, 6 inches, not over 42 foot, 6 inches, 42.6 inches over 46.6 inches, 46 and a half by no over than 50 and a half, 50 and a half, not over 52 and a half, 52 and a half in length. That goes length of the open car. You'd have 18,000 pounds, 20,000 pounds, 22,000, 24, 26, 28, 30, 36, 40, 41 foot and a half to 42 and a half, 42 and a half to 46 and a half, 46 and a half to 50 and a half, 50 and a half to 52 and a half, 52 and a half in length. With the car loading weight in and out in the base weight with the Section 8, the article is subject to the Rule 34. The minimum weight car loads over the 41 foot 6 inches length will be as follows: 41 6 inches, 42 and a half, 42 and a half to 46 and a half, 46 and a half to 50 and a half, 50 and a half to 52 and a half, 52 and a half to in length. Show the 122 base, 142 base, 162 base, 172 base, 2,000 base weight. Application Note 4. When the shipper order for the car or the specified length with included minimum and maximum length with the same minimum car load weight with is provided with the Section 8 furnished for the car with length of the train in such a minimum and maximum length with a fulfillment is shipping and ordered. Note when the two cars are furnished in lieu of longer ordered with no difference for the performed and placed for the two cars of the loading and unloading would be performed in placing one car ordered except for the trackage disability existing, placing, loading, unloading, making it necessary for the two cars may be played with different adjacent locations, same location, different times. Note 6. Necessary to calculate the minimum weight with the shipment of the base weight, but not shown in Section 3A and 8A with the minimum weight with the determined will be rounded off to the next highest multiple of 100. Example, the minimum weight calculated at 3,840 pounds would be 37,900 pounds. Alright, minimum car load, weights, car load, excessive rule not applicable. Section 9, Rule 24 will not apply with the articles subject to the Rule 34 unless otherwise provided in the description of such articles as classification or tariffs or individual carriers. Basis for computing length of the cubic capacity of the car. Section 10, length of the cars referred to the rules base platform measure. The flat cars inside the measurement, all of the other cars except for the refrigerator cars have ice box constructed ends for the extending the top of the car partially with the floor length shall be computed from inward side of the ice box. The platform measuring the flat cars inside measuring the other cars must be shown on the waybills transfer slip to the connecting lines. Fractions of an inch will be counted in computing length of the car. For the length of the cubical capacity of the car, the official railway equipment register RER 6413 series of the National Railway Publication Company agent. No obligation. Our tanker car and freight. We've done this section, and then we'll move in a separate tape, so we'll skip this section.